never die and breathe. What happened to the truths? The ones that put it down with no rules, no procrastination when faced with aggravation. Smashing faces with no patience, racing for the finish. Before your dreams diminish, bridges burn like incense. And homie, that's just for instance.
Welcome to another edition of Who Am I?
Been
We
this
are
thing a
here
long
today
time, man.
with Superday. What's up, man?
My guy.
Nigga.
You already know.
How you doing, fam?
Man, fantastic. Good to be back
So
here.
good?
Man, good to be back here.
I just wanna be remembered.
Where we, made a whole lot of bangers, did a whole lot of things up in here, man.
That's right.
Feels like home up in here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It is.
It is.
It is.
I appreciate everything.
We've known each other for years,
Mm-hmm.
right? And do you remember how we met?
Oh, wow, man, you're killing me right now. Okay. I think Bliss introduced us.
For sure.
Yes, Bliss
Yep.
introduced us. I don't remember where we met. Did she bring me over here?
Had to.
I think she brought me
Yep.
over here.
Yep.
And when you was set up in the other room.
Yep.
with
And
the-
she was working on the joint
Right. Yeah.
that you wrote for her.
Right, that I wrote for her.
And produced.
Uh-huh. Been doing it a long time, I
But
guess.
that's rolling back. What year? What you think?
Oh man. 2000?
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Did 9/11 happen before we met? Or after?
I think after.
Okay. So that's how our time frame.
Yeah.
2000.
I think
2001.
Yeah, I think we met before 9/11, if I'm not mistaken. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
Player, it was a long,
Yeah.
long time ago right here.
For sure.
Like it
So
was,
we're looking at a dub.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wow, crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's real time.
Right. Yep, real time. Looking at a dub. Wow.
So I guess part of this series that I'm talking to everybody about is basically about lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
So you, like a chosen other few, I consider like lifers.
Right.
Like
yes.
lifers, because for you, not even from like a hip hop, R&B, any type of genre doesn't describe to me kind of what you do as an artist, because
Word, bless.
you write like songs, you create everything, play keys, dabble here and there. You've had bands, put almost like orchestras together, damn near from the 3-piece to the orchestra.
Right.
I mean, all kind of instruments I done seen on stage with you.
Yeah.
From the days of Dig This.
Dig This. Shout out to Dig This. Shout out Group of Lives Bacon.
I mean,
Crystal, G. Rufa, who's still playing with me again with the Funky Neighbors. Shout out to Smoke 202. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, long time. I mean, I just grew up playing piano, and I grew up listening to bands, not just like in the headphones and on the record players, but my folks would be, going places, and my Uncle Reggie, shout out to Uncle Reggie, he was a writer for LA bands when there was an actual band scene.
okay.
When I was a kid, in the
Okay.
80s. He was
when
a
I used to
writer.
play the club.
Yeah. He was
Okay.
all around with the LA Boppers. He was out there, writing, doing their write-ups or whatever. So I was always just kind of, I don't know, this path just seemed like it was just for me for some reason. You know what I mean? Even beyond the fact that, my mom and dad put me in piano lessons when I was 8 years old. I mean, I didn't have to stick with it. I mean, how many kids get in lessons and just, I don't wanna do
Whatever.
this, you know what I'm saying? But it just, it was just a thing. And, the music industry was all around me at that time, because the music scene, when I was a kid coming up, I guess you would call that in the late 70s, going into the 80s, man. The LA scene for music was really popping.
Wow.
It was popping.
I remember, but for me, it was different because I was removed from that. I didn't see none of that until I turned like 15. When I actually started going to clubs, and actually seeing music, and what it was doing.
Okay, yeah. See,
Yeah.
I went
dope
through
growing
that too, but I just grew up with that.
That's
I mean,
dope.
Side Effect, like I said, the LA Boppers. I mean, those LA those bands that had an LA sound. I grew up going to their gigs, man. Going to their rehearsals. And, my first rehearsal hall I went to, I saw they had the padding on the side. I was like, oh man, check this out. They in there grooving and whatnot,
So you actually got to see the band rock.
Oh, yeah.
So you knew all the different parts in the.
Yeah, I
that
saw the
everybody-
way that it was constructed, in real time.
Oh yeah.
As a kid.
Okay,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
dope.
Beyond just hearing it, like I said, in the headphones or rocking with the, the tapes or the records, seeing it in real time, seeing how they have to work together to make the
Right.
sound.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That made a difference. I mean, not just in music, but for me, that was also a life lesson.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up with, lots of cousins. My mom had 12 siblings, so that means I have more cousins than I can even count. I mean, truth. So, fam, for real. Shout out to my mom and my granny for having all them kids. Because my cousins is hard. I love my cousins. Okay, so, but having a lot of cousins, that means you have a lot of personalities around you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But that's also a good thing because that also means you have a lot of support around you.
Yep.
And looking at a band, it was kind of the same thing. There's a lot of personalities, but we work together, man. We can make something, fantastic.
Right.
And it was a life lesson to me to always know that, you're always in a band, whether you recognize it as that or not. You
Right.
know what I mean? You're always in a band. There's always personalities around you that you gotta make work. You gotta work with. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, if you can make this thing work and you can get your minds all on one accord and going in one direction, hey man, you can make some beautiful music, whatever it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's
Right.
actual music or just
Family.
your household, your job at Kmart, whatever.
Right.
If you're the manager, hey man, let's make
the
some
band
music.
together.
Let's put the band together. That's what
Right.
I'm saying. That was actually a big life lesson for me when I was a kid.
Okay. So that explains the funk, because
That part.
I got introduced to you through like funk, and
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
expressions of it. But not only what you would bring with an artist that you produce your own songs, and then what you would do with a band, from actually orchestrating MPC programming
Yeah.
to actually putting the live pieces together.
Well, see, for me, man, it's like I'm a piano player. Like when it comes down to it, I'm a piano player. The only reason I got into recording in the studio or trying to make my own beats is because at some point I realized that I could write. Okay, and so I would drag my brother into my friend's studio. My friend had a studio over there on 64th. And so I would drag my brother in there to help me with it. My big brother, Keith. I drag him in there to help me with, getting this together or whatever. He got tired of me doing it. He's like, man, you got to figure it out yourself. No, I'm not coming over there. No, I don't have no time. Quit calling me, figure it out yourself. So I'm in this studio like,
Wow. How old were you?
this was after high school. This was
Okay.
like
Right after?
17, 18, 19. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Prime.
I had to figure it out by myself because I was like, this was when you remember the Tascam 8-track?
Yeah.
It was a Tascam 8-track in there. There was an MPC 60 in there. Some effects and stuff. I forget what speakers, but racks. A couple racks of keyboards, and I just had to figure it out myself because people was tired of me. Hey, can you? I got in there, I started figuring it out. And the more I started figuring it out, I was like, okay, well, I need to record my voice. Let me get this microphone, just set it up. You know what I'm saying? Set it up right here, hit record, sing my stuff. I learned how to do it that way because that's how I had to do it.
Yeah.
Then that turned me into, hey, I can record this chick who wants to record her song. Okay, yeah, stands that mic. I know what I'm doing. So from a piano player, I went to, once I learned that I was creative and I could write, I was like, okay, well, now I'm turning into a singer-songwriter, but now I'm also turning into a producer because I'm in there making beats. I'm figuring out how to link up the MP with the keyboards. You remember
MIDI?
The
MIDI? The MIDI?
You have to set it up right and everything.
Man.
I had to figure all that out by myself. And then, then I started recording other vocalists,
Okay.
either to something that I've written or one of their own songs, fly it in, get them on the 8-track. You only have so many tracks to deal with. So, and that also turned into me like, okay, now I got to mix this thing. So now I'm, doing all this stuff. So just from being a piano player, You just do what's necessary, what the art calls you to do. You do what's necessary. When it comes down to it, I'm a piano player. That's why I've always played in bands. I've always had a band. There's always a drum set in my little studio, even if it's in the electronic drum set, which I got in my studio. It's this big, but there's always a drum set in my studio. There's always instruments in my studio because when it comes down to it, I'm a musician. The need for artistry created this thing where I gotta produce and I gotta engineer, and now I'm been mastering things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but the producer side or whatever is only necessary because of my music side.
Okay, yeah. You basically developed skills out of need
Right.
in order for you to develop
Right.
your skill set.
That part.
Yeah.
Making noise like Soul Train, a high school band and drill team. Feel me like the Cali Sunbeam. Follow me freely on your social network. I keep something ready for text, twerks, and sex flirts. It ain't a panorama or an extravagance.